The paranormal has always been met with skepticism. There has been no shortage of shysters and scammers using superstition and the unexplained to take advantage of people throughout the centuries. Despite no one being able to capture solid evidence of the paranormal, we still hold a place in our hearts that says maybe there's something unexplainable out there, trying to cross into our world but stuck just out of reach, barely able to break the surface of the water. If This Book Exists, You're in the Wrong Universe by Jason Pargin is the fourth book in the John and Dave series. You've probably heard the title John Dies in the End. Even though these books are a series, the author himself has said they can be read in any order and are standalone stories for the most part. This book was actually the first one in the series I read, and it didn't feel like I was missing anything from not reading them in order. The book starts off by introducing us to our team of paranormal investigators, Dave, John, and Amy. When we meet them, it's made clear that they've been at this for a while and are pretty nonchalant about the whole thing. They've dealt with several occurrences of supernatural activity and plenty of fake ones. The story opens with the local police department dropping someone off at Dave's apartment, and apparently they do this with people in cases they don't feel like dealing with because strange and unexplainable things happen frequently in this city. Dave and his crew have established that they are the people to deal with it. The team is actually getting ready to go to a 4th of July picnic and are preparing to drink all day and watch fireworks. So when a man with a parasite attached to his head shows up, who is claiming to have a wife with him that no one else can see, they actually don't feel like dealing with it. And this really sets the tone of the entire book. The crew has dealt with so many strange occurrences that unless something comes off as a world-ending threat, they don't really want to handle it. They would rather goof off or just hang out. That doesn't mean there isn't real danger. There is some serious violence and horror in this book, but it's painted with humor and absurdity. The team almost treats what seems like serious paranormal activity to us just like another day at the office working a job they don't really like. So they'll look for any excuse to not be responsible. Luckily for us, things start to escalate and they eventually relent and accept the responsibility of being the heroes. The scale and scope of the story gets so much larger than you would expect, which made the book even funnier to me. Our crew of paranormal investigators are so rough and ragtag that watching them essentially flail to solve problems while the situation keeps growing despite their efforts is just really entertaining. The book manages to balance humor and horror effortlessly while steadily increasing the danger of the situation facing the characters. The story covers a lot of ground in terms of paranormal tropes, but manages to keep them all fresh and entertaining, starting with the interdimensional parasite and ranging from haunted dolls, humanoid bug hive minds, time travel, cults, and more. These seemingly unrelated side quests and side stories ultimately converge in a satisfying way that really ties together the world-shattering events facing the characters. Even though this book is mostly a fun romp through a paranormal playground, there are some nice themes and character development by the time we reach the end. Reluctance to take charge and be responsible despite knowing you're the right person for the task, doing the right thing even though it's not what you really want, and protecting the people who are important to you. Overall, If This Book Exists, You're in the Wrong Universe by Jason Pargin is a great read. A funny and gory story that was a nice break from the serious psychological and dread-steeped horror that I usually read. So if a horror comedy mixed with some action adventure sounds interesting to you, then definitely check it out.